everybody. I'm Dr. Christa Menninger, Associate Professor in Humanities here at the History, Humanities, and Modern Languages Department. I'll be reading chapters 46 through 49 in The Words We Keep by Erin Stewart. In the ambulance, EMTs poke needles into her arms, cover her mouth with oxygen. They use words like non-responsive and laceration. They look at each other knowingly when they see the scars on her wrists. They have her all figured out. They ask me questions, so many questions. How did she fall? She wanted to jump, to fly. History of mental illness, bipolar disorder. She was going to get help. What medicines is she on? I'm not sure, something with a Z or maybe an X, but she's not taking it. Any unusual symptoms? No, she was doing better. I was going to fix it. Any alcohol or drug use? I don't know, I wasn't watching. I should have been watching. Anything else we should know? No. I grabbed her. I did this. Take me away. Lock me up. But they don't take me away. They take her away. They wheel her through heavy doors that only open with key cards, and I don't have a key card, so I stay on the other side, the waiting side. When Micah gets there, he dials my dad, and I try to talk through crummy cell reception. Honey, what's going on? It's Alice. What is it? What's wrong? I broke her. I broke everything. Lily, are you there? My voice won't work. Micah takes the phone and gives the details. Dad told you not to see Micah anymore. How many times will you disappoint him? They're on their way, but they're all the way downtown, Micah says. He touches his fingertips to a bloody scrape on my arm. We should get that looked at. I shake my head. I'm fine. He sighs and goes to get us something from the vending machine. A woman across from me bounces a crying baby on her knee. Her eyes dart around the room from an ashen face. An older man, hunkered down by the vending machines, vacantly watches the soap opera on the ancient TV. We're all waiting. A doctor in blue scrubs exits the special keycard area. He kneels by the woman with the loud baby. She follows the doctor through the portal. She's been chosen. The rest of us hate her. Sorry, it was the best-looking thing in there. Micah hands me a stale granola bar. I take it, but don't eat it. The thought of food makes my stomach roil. It's already moving in waves, lurching up at the bottom of my throat. Micah puts his arm around me because I can't stop shivering, and I remember that before Alice climbed the cliff, before the Larkin sisters hijacked the evening, we were talking about him, about his dad, his expulsion. I'm sorry, I say. I was supposed to be helping you tonight. I've said it before, Lily. We're supposed to be helping each other. He's so calm and so kind and so freaking perfect that I almost hate him for it. Why does he keep sticking around for this? I pull back and look him in the eyes. I get it, if this is too much for you. If I'm too much. He shrugs. I've seen worse. No, seriously, Micah, I wouldn't blame you. You have your own crap to deal with, and maybe we both have too much baggage, too much chaos to help each other. I take a deep breath to steel myself. So I'm giving you an out, guilt-free. He pulls me back into him. You're right. We're probably terrible for each other, but I'm not going anywhere. And even though I know he probably just doesn't want to be the tool who breaks up with a girl in a hospital, I let him hold me. We will finish our conversation, I promise, I say. And I promise I'm totally fine if we don't. Not that I don't love doing a deep dive into my issues. He pats his shoulder, and I rest my head on it. We sit like that, his hand on my arm, my head on his shoulder, bobbing up and down with the steady rhythm of his breathing on the waiting side. After forever, a nurse comes in and tells me Alice is stable. I jump up. Is she awake? Can I see her? Yes, but first do you have anything sharp on you? She puts her hands out like a bowl. Pens, bobby pins in your hair, makeup compact with glass mirrors? I shake my head. Any phone chargers, earphones with cords, lighters, weapons of any kind? No, why? Standard safety measures after a suicide attempt. This wasn't a suicide attempt, I say. She consults her clipboard. She says here she has a history. Yes, but... And you said she was trying to jump from a cliff. Yes, well, no, it wasn't. Then we treat it as an attempt, she says matter-of-factly. She leads me through the doors down a long hallway and stops outside the room with a big glass window and no curtains. Inside, Alice is lying on a bed, eyes closed, head wrapped in gauze. A security guard stands in the corner of her room watching her sleep. Protocol for suicide watch, the nurse says, nodding toward the guard. Now, just to warn you, she was very agitated when she woke up, so we've sedated her. Don't be alarmed if she's not quite herself. As if I know who Alice's real self is anymore, anyway. I inch into the room, trying not to be totally intimidated by the man in the corner with his taser and expressionless face. Alice has a million wires flowing from her. IVs and electrodes and all sorts of medical paraphernalia. A machine beeps in time with her heartbeat. She opens her eyes when I touch her arm. "Lily," she whispers. She turns towards me and I can see the side of her head bleeding through the gauze. "You did that." "Alice, I'm here and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." She fades out again, but I stand by her bed, listening to the beat of her heart, inhaling the antiseptic smell of the room. She wakes up twice and doesn't know where she is. "You're in the hospital. You fell," I tell her. "You're going to be okay." Is she? When the nurse says it's time for a catheter change, I touch Alice's arm again to let her know I'm leaving. She wakes confused until her eyes focus sharply on me. Lily, I need you to listen. Listen to me." She pulls me close, a panic in her eyes like I've never seen. "Promise you won't let me disappear again. Don't let me..." She mumbles something, but I can't catch it all before she fades. Then her eyes open suddenly wide and terrified, looking straight at me. "Help me," she says, exactly like she did on the bathroom floor all those months ago. Small and scared and just less. "Promise?" And even though I feel as helpless as I did that night, I squeeze her hand. "I promise." In the waiting room, the nurse tells me to go home. She puts her hand on my shoulder. "Get some rest and come back in the morning. Nothing's going to change overnight." "I can't. I'm not leaving." The nurse pats me. "Honey, we'll take good care of her, I promise. The best thing you can do for your sister right now is to get some sleep." I nod and she walks back to the other side, and Micah puts his hand on top of mine. "I'll drive you." I shake him off. "I'm not leaving." "But you just..." "I am not leaving." Micah sighs and leans forward, his head in his hands. He looks like hell. I can only imagine what I look like. "Lily, she's right. You need to go home. Your parents are coming, and Margot sounded terrified when I called your house. She needs you." "Alice needed me," I say, my voice escalating involuntarily. The nurse behind the desk watches me like I'm a bomb about to explode. I knew something was off. I knew the symptoms. Abnormally wired, check. Exaggerated sense of self-confidence, double check. Unusual talkativeness, checkity check. The redecorating and the videos and the talking so fast, I should have done something. I say, pacing back and forth in front of the keycard door. I should have made her get help, right then. Micah watches me weave between the hideous green chairs. "Lily, this isn't your fault." "Isn't it?" The truth comes bubbling up, unstoppable and ugly. "I was mad at her, Micah, for being her, for using up all of Dad's money, for being the black hole that sucks me in time after time. I might as well have pushed her off that cliff." The old dude by the TV stares at me. I'm better than any soap opera. Micah grabs my hand, which is clawing at my sides, and he wraps his arms around me. "It's not your fault," he says. I bury my face in his shoulder. The tears I've been holding back since we got here erupt, heavy, unrestrained sobs that fill the waiting room. I leave a streak of tears and mascara and pathetic on his shoulder. I try to pull away, but he only holds me closer. "It's not your fault. I should have helped her. I could have stopped her. I knew she wasn't taking her medicine. I knew." Micah holds me tighter. "Don't you think I wonder all the time if I could have done something differently to make my dad stay? If we could have loved him more or better, been more or better, that maybe he'd still be here? But I can't think like that. You can't think like that. She climbed that cliff, Lily. You didn't do this." "Didn't you?" "But it's not just this time, don't you get it?" I say. "That night in the bathroom, I knew something was wrong with her before I went out running. I knew, but I didn't want to look. I pretended like I didn't see the marks on her skin, didn't notice that she was acting strange. I didn't even answer her text. She needed me, but I wasn't there. Do you know where I was? I don't wait for an answer. I was running. I was outside trying to shave another second off my time. I was running while my sister was trying to die." Micah brushes the hair that's come loose from my ponytail out of my face. "You couldn't have known. And then, you know what I did after?" I laugh, even though none of this is funny, except maybe it is. Maybe it's also freaking hilarious. "I made the bed, Micah. I made it and remade it because the sick part of my brain convinced me that if I could just make that bed, make it perfect, then she would be all right." Micah holds me again, so tight I can barely breathe. "But she's not all right," I whisper into his shoulder. "It's not your fault," he whispers back. My shoulders shake against him as he rocks me. "It's not your fault." Ridgeline Underground, 133 likes. Larkin's Sisters Snap at Bonfire, 95 comments. Girls Gone Wild, Psycho Edition. I am 100% here for this. They're not crazy, dumbass. Bipolar does not equal crazy. Crazy is as crazy does. Guys, this isn't a joke. These girls are messed up. They need help. OMG, I was there. Lily totally pulled her sister down. That's straight up cold. I hope she's okay. Prayers to you, Alice. Total attention whores. World would be better without them. Chapter 47. The post in the underground has a picture, a digital damnation of Alice clinging to the cliffs, me standing below her yelling into the rain, looking abso-freaking-lutely insane. Ping! Sam. Holy crap, Lil, is Alice okay? Sam. Are you? Me. Yeah. No. Sam. Look, I know things have been weird, but I'm here if you need me. Me. Thanks. Too late. Micah convinces me to go home when Dad and Stacy finally get to the hospital. Dad quickly hugs me before rushing to the other side, without a word about the fact that I'm standing next to Micah, who I was specifically told never to see again. Dad doesn't have time to stop and tell me I've let him down, and he doesn't need to. I know. I've let me down too. Let everyone down. At home, Margot's on her bed, her eyes red and swollen, scanning the pages of Harry Potter and the Death Hallows. Frantically, she chews on her fingernails while she reads like she's trying to bite them right off. Margot, stop! I say, swatting her hand away as I sit next to her. Her fingers are red and scabby in the corners of the nail bed. I tell her Alice is going to be fine, even though I have no idea, because what else can I say? My eyes wander her room, a strange mix of little girl and preteen, stuffed animals and dolls on her shelves next to a makeup kit. You need to sleep, I tell her, tugging the book away. She tugs it back. I thought it was working, she says, her fingers going back to her mouth. There's something I'm missing. I'm too tired to argue with her about the difference between fantasy and reality, so I sigh, give her a hug, and leave her alone with her magic. Back in my own room, I stare at Alice's unmade bed, wishing she were here, whichever form of Alice it happened to be. Manic, red-lipped Alice with her booming laugh, or sullen, short-haired Alice with her eye rolls and cocooning. I didn't care, as long as she was home. In the dark, I walk the 7 steps to Alice's chaotic side of the room, pull back the rumpled comforter, and get in. Stacy and Dad come home well after midnight. I meet them in the front hallway. Stacy lights a lavender candle. Supposed to be calming, she says. Do you hate me? I ask. Why would he hate you? Stacy blows out the match. We're just glad you were there. I don't even want to think what could have happened otherwise. Dad pulls me tight against his chest. It's the first time he's really even acknowledged me since the principal's office. She was still a little loopy, but she told us how you stopped her from going higher. You probably saved her. She's lucky to have you. We all are. I didn't save her. I can't even save myself. She's going to be okay, he adds, standing back to look at me in the eye. And I wonder if it's the same lip service I gave Margot. They're watching her concussion and adjusting her meds. Nothing you need to worry about. The lavender fills the front hallway, but it's doing little to calm me. Don't tell me not to worry, Dad, I say. I am worried. And I know you want everything to be better, but it's not, and she is not okay. He shakes his head a little too vigorously. What happened tonight was bad, but it was an accident. She's getting better. She just needs to find the right dosage. Dad, you're not listening. My voice wobbles. I promised to help her. She's not even taking her meds. You also promised not to tell. He looks at me like I'm speaking another language. She didn't tell me. I run up to her room, grab Alice's bottle of unused pills, and run back down. I slam it in front of Dad, who has already retreated behind the French doors of his office. Of course she didn't, because we don't talk about anything we need to be talking about. We all just pretend Alice is fine, that we all are. He picks up the pills, and then he places them down softly, stands and turns away from me to face his rows and rows of books. Tale after tale, characters he knows inside and out, when he can't see the story playing out right in front of him. The unhappy ending we're all headed for if we don't twist the plot, and soon. What do you want me to do? Dad gestures wildly, with his arms pacing back and forth in front of his books. I've hit a nerve. Stuff the pills down her throat, grind them up and hide them in her Lucky Charms? I go around his desk so that he has to look at me. What if she hurts herself again? Dad meets my eyes. We've never talked about that night, never discussed how he groaned when he saw her on the floor, the raw, throaty sound that filled the bathroom as he scooped her off my lap. Instead, I washed the blood off my hands, he washed the floor, and we pretended like that was enough. Exactly, he says, a quaver in his voice now too, one hand on his bookshelf. What if I push her and she does that again? I can't lose her. I put my hand on his arm. Dad, we're losing her anyway. He shakes his head, his eyelids blinking quick. only barely holding back the tears. I don't know what to do. Dad's voice catches in his throat. It guts me. I mean, I was by her bed in the hospital, and it's like I'm standing there watching someone I love be in pain, and I'd do anything to stop it, to take it from her, but I can't, and I just feel helpless, you know? I do. The image of me sitting on the bathroom floor with Alice fills my brain. I know exactly what you mean. Dad sinks into his chair, his eyes searching the picture of us at the beach like it might have the answers. Do you remember this day? I nod. It's the day Alice made me swim out too far. Dad shakes his head. No, he says. There was a riptide. We couldn't see it from the beach, but one minute you were next to Alice, and the next minute I look up and you were gone. I thought I followed her, I say, trying to remember the details of that day. She followed you, Dad says. I swam after you, but she got to you first. To this day, I don't know how she managed to get you back through those currents. I'm 6, trying to stay afloat, reaching for Alice's hand. She tells me we're explorers. I look at Dad, trying to make his words make sense. I was the reason we almost drowned, not her? I felt so helpless that day, Dad continues, but it's nothing compared to how I felt that night in the bathroom, how I feel every single day. What kind of father can't help his own daughter? I'm supposed to have the answers, but I don't. He puts his head in his hands. Nobody tells you what to do when your child wants to die. The words fall so harsh, so true, that they seem to surprise even him. He shakes his head. So yes, I want to pretend everything is fine because I don't know how to fix this, Lily. His voice is quiet now, resigned and sad and lost. I don't know how to fix her. I grasp Alice's pillows tight and fight the tears pricking my own eyes at this helpless version of my dad, the man who tucks me into my spot on his chest and tells me everything's going to be okay, that he'll make it okay. Except this time he can't. She doesn't need to be fixed, Dad. She's not broken, I say. She's Alice. In the bathroom, the red-tinged grout screams, Help me! I didn't know how then, and I still don't. And neither does Dad. And that truth scares me to my core. And you told him about the pills. Alice will hate you more than ever. She'll disappear again, maybe for good this time. I hear Dad and Stacy leave to go back to Alice, and I fill the bath, strip down to my scars, and submerge in the water, hoping it will clear my head, cleanse me. I sink below the surface, holding my breath, the memory of the water, of the tug of the ocean coming fast and fresh. Alice and I weren't off on one of her wild ideas. We were caught in the riptide. She must have been terrified, but she acted so brave. She saved me. My lungs burn for air, but I stay below the water. In the silence, the nothing, the words I yelled to her on the cliff come back, stinging and sharp. You ruined things! I've been so wrong about everything. Micah says it's not my fault. I want to believe him, to let the words absolve me. But the monsters outscream everything. You swam too far. You let her bleed. You let her fall. She's not the one who ruins things. You are. Chapter 48. My body forces me up and out of the water, gasping for breath. My fingers itch, my skin buzzes. On my stomach, a scab circled by hot pink skin. It's tender when I pick it off. One by one, I pick every scab on my stomach. Psycho, crazy, hypocrite, joke. Better without you. I move up my arms, my fingertips searching out little bumps and rough patches. Piece by piece, I dig out the imperfections. Up my neck, pick, pick, pick. My chin, pick it all out. My nose, get it out. Just one more. My cheeks, a little farther. My forehead, you'll grow new skin, perfect skin, pink and new like a baby bird. I get out of the bath and the girl in the mirror is covered in spots. But that girl's not me. That's not my face, my hands. I'm long gone. Just a little more. I continue even though the pain fills me. Because the pain fills me. I'm here, I'm alive because I can feel it. Really feel it. Right there on my skin. A little more. A little more. 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 The sound of screaming brings me back. Margot stands in the doorway, eyes wide, like she's seen a real-life monster. Her cry lingers in the air. I just wanted to show you. She holds out her Harry Potter book to me, flipped open to a page. I found something that I think could help. We just need... Get out! I yell. Margot doesn't budge. I grab the book and throw it over her head into the hallway. It lands with its spine smashed, edges splayed out. Enough! I'm still yelling. She shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be seeing me like this. Enough with the fairy tales, Margot. She walks backward as I walk toward her until she reaches the door. What you need to do is grow up. She hops back as I slam the door. I turn back to the monster in the mirror. I pick and pick and pick. I scrape myself away. After I toss back a sleeping pill and one of Alice's pills too. They made her numb, she said, unfeeling. I take it without water, feel its rough edges as it goes down. I fall into the easy embrace of unconsciousness. I give in to the nothing. I sleep for days, years, lifetimes. Dad's always at the hospital. Stacy puts her cold hand on my forehead and I hide my picked open face under the comforter. Are you sick? I nod. I'll feel better after I sleep. Pink and pure and perfect. Margot stands at my door but doesn't come in. Sleep is my only escape. I double the dose of pills from Dad's drawer and take more of Alice's, and I sleep and sleep and sleep. Through school, through practice, through everything. Tucked in the fetal position, I wait for rebirth. Supernova. I am disappearing. A supernova collapsing inward, smothered in black. I am gone. Chapter 49. Someone rips open my cocoon and lets the light in. It's blinding. Why aren't you answering my texts? Micah asks. He dials the number on his phone and roots around for the ringing coming from the other side of my room, swallowed up behind Alice's bed. He tosses me my phone, which has had an alarm going off over and over again for hours. Go away, I say, pulling the covers back over me, partly to block the light and partly to block Micah from seeing what I've done to myself. My dad will make you leave anyway. Your dad and Stacy are at the hospital. Margot let me in, he says. She's worried about you. Scared of you. Time to get up, Micah yanks off the covers. I have a group today and you're coming. What, like therapy? Hard pass. You, of all people, should understand that sometimes you just need to be unconscious. He tug-of-wars for me for the comforter when I try to return to my embryonic state. Micah's voice is calm but firm. Yes, but sometimes you need to wake up. He pulls my shoulders back and flops me over. He can't hide the shock on his face when he sees my skin. Shit. His eyes trail down my legs, sticking out from my long nightshirt. Little round wounds scream from my body, bright and red and angry. The memory of what I've done to myself roars to life. Why did I think I could become someone new? That I could scrape off this liliness and reveal someone better? Someone who didn't have monsters in her head and an insatiable itch in her fingers. I hide myself again, half hating him and half humiliated that he's seen me like this. Face scratched open, wounds still raw. Why are you even here? Have you forgotten I got you expelled? What I did to Alice? I say through the covers. No one's giving out brownie points for the biggest martyr today. Micah lifts the covers softly and studies my face, looking into me like he's done since we first met, back when I was the perfect one. What does he see in me now? There's a reason why flight attendants tell you to put on your oxygen mask first, Micah says. I roll my eyes, extra dramatic. I'm not crashing, Micah. I'm tired. The alarm on my phone goes off again, and when I reach to silence it, a reminder pops up. State qualifier, 10 a.m. The race. I blanked the track meet. Dad needs me to win. Everybody needs me to win. I need me to win. It's the only thing I haven't irrevocably screwed up. I force myself to sit. Good, Micah says, helping me to my feet. The group's really not half bad once you... He stops when I start rifling through my track bag and pull out my shorts. Wait, what are you doing? Going to my race. Micah tries to wrestle my bag from me. The room tilts as a wave of dizziness almost knocks me off my feet. I stagger back and Micah catches me. My head feels like a helium-filled balloon, like it could float away any second. It doesn't help that the house is rocking like it's on the ocean. My pulse pounds in my skull, the vomit burns the back of my throat. Lily, you don't look good. Rude? You know what I mean. You need to sleep, not run. He puts the back of his hand against my forehead. You're burning up and sweating. I'm fine, I say reflexively. Fine, fine, fine. Everything is fine. Besides, how can I be sweating when I'm so cold? You're not fine, Lily. Forget group. I'm taking you to a doctor. I try to jam my leg into my shorts, but miss the hole. The room's tilted again. You want to help me? Help me get to this track meet. That's what I need right now. I wave the shorts at him in frustration. You're always telling me to speak up, to ask for help. This is me asking, help me get to my race. He groans from the back of his throat, pointing a finger at me. And then you'll see a doctor? You'll take it easy? Let me feed you chicken soup and Gatorade? Yes, whatever you say. I hug him tight and agree to his terms. I'll rest, I'll stop, after I prove that I'm still Lily Larkin, straight A's and team records, despite the words on everyone's lips and phones and posts. I'm still a winner. Micah shakes his head but helps me balance while I pull on my uniform. I look down at the picked open spots on my legs. The jersey reveals the damage on my arms too. I rip both off and Micah helps me put on a long sleeve cross-country jersey and leggings instead. In the bathroom mirror, more disappointment. No baby bird today, folks. Just me, ugly, scabby, and disgusting. The pink skin around one of my wounds has turned red, spreading in a wide circle, hot and tender and clearly infected. I'll deal with that later, I tell myself as I tuck my shirt in tight. I spend 15 minutes blobbing on foundation and concealer and bronzer. You look great, Micah says when I come out and put on my race day shoes. Your BS is no good here. Downstairs, Margot is slurping Lucky Charms at the kitchen island. Her usual book and cape are missing. She keeps her eyes trained on her bowl instead of me when I talk to her. I'm sorry, ashamed, humiliated. Going to my track meet. Dad and Stacy are at the hospital? Margot nods. Do you hate me? Judge me? Wish I was dead? Want to come with us? She shakes her head, still not looking at me. You okay? I ask. Fine. I chug an energy drink on the way. The pill cocktail I've been taking knocked me out good, and it's hard to surface. My brain is a saturated sponge, heavy and soft. The beaches and the cliffs flash by so nauseatingly fast that I close my eyes, roll down the window, and suck in fresh air like my life depends on it. Micah reaches over and holds my wrist. Your pulse is racing. I'm just nervous. Only the top 5 runners go on to state. The caffeine hits my bloodstream just in time, punching into my chest and zapping my foggy brain to life. I ignore the fluttery feelings behind my ribcage and hop out of the car in front of the high school across town where we run state qualifiers every spring. The team is already stretching out, warming up in a small huddle next to the banner for Ridgeline High. Micah heads to the bleachers as Sam beelines for me. She takes in my mottled skin. Makeup can only cover so much, and her face falls. Lil, her voice catches. I wanted to tell her to cut it out, that I don't need her sympathetic head tilt or her pity or whatever it is oozing from her right now. But my words get caught in my throat, which is tightening as my teammates turn to look at me, their thoughts written across their faces. Did she do that to herself? She really is crazy. Crazy and scabby and desperate. I close my eyes and try to ignore the way my stomach is lurching and my head is spinning. I center myself and vision bolting down the track, crossing the finish line. What is this? Coach says, looking at my cross-country clothes. I couldn't find my regular uniform. Coach tucks his clipboard under his arm. His eyes close like he's summoning strength from the god of adults who have to deal with teenagers. You missed our last scrimmage, Lily. You've been MIA from practice all week. I know, but do you think being part of a team means doing whatever you want? Not putting in the time and effort that all your teammates do? He waits for me to defend myself, explain my absence, justify my existence. I got nothing. You're not running today. But no, enough excuses. You'll have another shot next year. The caffeine has reached my heart. It does the cha-cha in my chest so fast I could jump out of my skin. Next year? Next year is too late. Panic starts to forward march from my core, radiating out to my fingertips. You've lost Berkeley, now this, and Alice is worse than ever, and so are you. Is there anything you haven't screwed up? Coach yells at everyone to huddle. I'm outside the circle. I walk until I'm off the field, outside the fence, running toward the porta potties by the parking lot. I don't make it. I vomit on the blacktop, sink against the tire of a random car, hugging my knees. An elephant sits on my chest. An invisible hand grips my heart, my lungs. I can't move. Stars shoot into my peripheral vision, slow and beautiful, and I slide toward the ground, one thought repeating on loop. I can't. Micah finds me there muttering. He steps over my vomit and pulls me back up to sitting. Hey, Lil, look at me. You can't what? The invisible hand squeezes tighter, shutting off my lungs, paralyzing my heart. Little shooting stars everywhere. When? I whisper before the world goes black.